I was at an event on Capitol Hill that was being hosted by Speaker Nancy Pelosi there, where they were just starting to think about whether there was some legislation they could take through. In the UK, we very proudly had already put through that legislation, but in the States they were yet to start thinking about it. This is only about 3 years ago. And Christy had come to the issue and was passionate about the issue because she had had her own personal journey with the birth of her daughter, who I believe it's her birthday today, and her mum will be flying straight back after this event to be with her. Through the difficulties that she faced, she realised just how vulnerable mums can be at that moment of childbirth, and just how vulnerable women are around the world who actually don't have access to a midwife, to the right facilities, transportation to take them to a hospital or to a health centre, who don't have the drugs available, even if the midwife is available. All of these barriers, if a complication sets in, puts that mother's life at risk. Christy also did something more about it than just use her heart to drive her into this subject. She signed up to Columbia University to do their Masters in Public Health, and got to work with the great Professor Alan Rosenfield, who was the man who 20 years ago first flagged up the fact that you have to put the mother in the heart of maternal, newborn and child health. So much focus has gone on infant health, on child health, rightly so, but the mother has been left behind and became the forgotten element in that global health piece. It's in recent years, it's been campaigners like Christy who've taken it on, who've walked into political environments they're not necessarily 100% comfortable in. I certainly found Capitol Hill quite daunting. And I've met with Christy since in the United Nations, where in a big seminar session there, part of this film was shown, one of the very early extracts was shown to the United Nations. Her journey through visiting different countries, you will see examples of where it works and where there are huge challenges to be overcome. There's also hope and looking for solutions. The maternal mortality campaign overall is hundreds of organisations around the world. The White Ribbon Alliance, I think, has members in about 140 countries. Thousands and thousands upon individual members, not just midwives and nurses and doctors and health practitioners, but also concerned citizens who want to be able to do something about this issue and make sure that governments and local authorities and local health authorities all the way through the chain are making the health of mothers through pregnancy and childbirth a priority. One of the most thoughtful pieces in the centre of the campaign has been to recognise that if you're not going to save the life of the mother, and we're talking about 500,000 deaths a year, we're talking mothers dying from very avoidable causes. I know you'll hear from the expert later, but rising blood pressure, which we would find very easy to resolve here, or excessive bleeding will cause the loss of life. But you take that mother out of her community and away from her family. Her surviving children have no mother. The infant, if it survives at all, has much more limited life chances. If the mother survives and thrives, she's also going to be earning money for her family. She's going to be feeding her children. She'll be arranging their vaccinations. She'll be taking them to school. All the things that we want to address to alleviate global poverty and create opportunities for families across the poorest countries in the world, across the developing world. That mother is at the heart of it. This is why we've all become so passionate about this campaign, that it's a trigger too for so much else. You'll see Christy's own story, you'll see the travel she makes to other countries, and I hope you'll enjoy the experiences, be challenged by experience, and look to yourselves to find out what part you might play. It sounds as though there's not much you can do unless you're a qualified midwife or a former health minister, as I can see lurking in the front row. But everyone can. If you're a journalist, you can write a piece. If you're a broadcaster, you can find a way to put something out. You can look at what your own work environment. There's always something you can do just to add voice to this campaign as well. Signing up to the White Ribbon Alliance. Any of these things will add weight and voice and carry that message through. But start with the film. I hope you very much enjoy it. It's a delight that Christy is also here today with us to be able to see her film, and that you'll be able to ask questions of her later. But I now hand over to the